IPA, as a parliamentary dimension of ASEAN, gives a very good platform to exchange on ideas and on recent developments and also on lessons learned, because there are certain good practices that we have developed.
As IPA members and observers, we need to strengthen interparliamentary cooperation for the sake of peace and security.
As observers, IPA is a part of this big family, and interparliamentary such events is a good opportunity for interparliamentary dialogue and international cooperation as well.
Our message to IPA members is that openness and dialogue must not be viewed as an optional. They are necessary commitments, long-term partnerships with observer parliaments, enrich the parliamentary experience, foster balanced solutions that reflect diverse perspectives.
Hi everyone, welcome to iPodcast, Amplifying Voices of IPA. My name is Ian Krisnanda, and I am from IPA Secretariat, and I'll be your host in this episode of iPodcast. It's really a pleasure to have you with us as we explore the world of ASEAN through meaningful conversations with parliamentarians, experts, and leaders, people who continue to shape our shared future through dialogue, cooperation, and vision. Today's episode comes to you from Phnom Penh, Cambodia, where the 16th IPA caucus is being held, hosted by the National Assembly of the Kingdom of Cambodia. This year's caucus is particularly special as it brings together not only members of Parliament of IPA, but also, for the very first time, the Observer Parliament through parliamentary dialogue. This historic engagement marks a new milestone in IPA's effort to enhance inclusivity and deepen in the parliamentary collaboration. It also underscores our collective aspirations to strengthen interparliamentary diplomacy and build lasting bridges across region. Joining us today are distinguished representatives from IPA Observer Parliaments who took part in the 16th IPA caucus sessions. From Georgia, we have Honorable Mr. Nicholas, Chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. From the Republic of Azerbaijan, we have Honorable Mr. Shahin, Member of Parliament. And from the Kingdom of Bahrain, we have Honorable Mr. Talal Mohammed Al-Mani, Member of Parliament. And from the Republic of Turkey, we have Honorable Mr. Osman Sagal, Member of Parliament. We'll be hearing about their experiences, reflections, and aspirations for how IPA and Observer Parliament can work together to promote peace, security, and resilience across and beyond the ASEAN region. Now, without further ado, let's begin. Now, for the first questions, as an observer in IPA, how does your respective parliament view its current engagement with the organization? And what areas of cooperation or mutual interest would you like to see further develop with IPA member parliaments? For the first question, I think we'll go with the Kingdom of Bahrain first. Honorable, the time is yours.
Well, first of all, let me thank the National Assembly of Cambodia for inviting Bahrain Parliament to be part of the IPA event here in Cambodia. This is really a very important subject we are invited for. And I thank IPA Secretariat, yourself and your team, for arranging this interview. Before I answer your questions, I would like really to highlight about the importance that Asian countries have in Bahrain foreign policy. We start really with His Majesty the King of Bahrain, King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, who have always been directive to improve and develop a relationship between Bahrain and Asian countries. Historically, we have an excellent relationship for our leadership, our king, our crown prince. It goes to countries like Malaysia, to Brunei Dar al Salam, Thailand, with all the leaders. And therefore, Bahrain has thought to really enhance this relationship. And the first agreement signed between Bahrain and ASEAN was in 2019. It was a trade and friendship agreement, and I think we are one of the first, in, not only maybe in the Arab Gulf states, but in the Middle East. So this shows how Asian countries and its people and its economy is very important for Bahrain. When we come from the legislative side, of course, we feel that Asian countries have really developed a lot, especially that they are having diversified cultures, economies, and I think we can take this as an important, really, platform to grow our legislative experience, seeking that we are all going for peace and tolerance between the whole countries of the world. So, to answer questions, as an observer in IPA, our participations reflect the Shura Council of Kingdom of Bahrain strong belief through the Kingdom Parliamentary Group and the importance of multilateral parliamentary engagement and its vital role in promoting regional and global peace and stability. With regard to IPA as a significant platform from a parliamentary point of view, dialogue and is greatly valued and value also the opportunities we have for providing knowledge exchange and building bridges of cooperation among member and observers parliaments. We hope to see enhanced cooperation in areas such as sustainable development, the green economy, digital transformation, environmental legislation, and in general, the empowerment of women and youth. These are shared priorities that require great legislative coordination across the regions, and we place high importance on parliamentary diplomacy, which we see as a complementary and supportive track to formal diplomacy, particularly given the high regard and deep-rooted commitment to democratic values in the Kingdom of Bahrain, where legislative work plays a central role in shaping both the present and future of the nation.
As you may recall, we were accepted as an observer to IPA at the 44th General Assembly in Jakarta in 2023. I want to underline that we formed a parliament delegation consisting of 3 members of parliament to observers. Our relation with IPA, I think this clearly showed the importance we attach to IPA. We hosted the ambassador of IPA member countries to Turkey at our parliament in Ankara and discussed the bilateral and multilateral issue on our agenda. Then we paid a working visit to Jakarta and meet with our counterparts at the Indonesian parliament, as well as the Secretary General of IPA and Deputy Secretary General of ASEAN. All of these activities demonstrate our high level of engagement with IPA. I strongly believe that our participation in IPA as an observer will undoubtedly make a great contribution for a closer dialogue between Turkey, ASEAN, and IPA. We as parliamentarians are ready to contribute to the cooperation and dialogue between Turkey, ASEAN, and IPA. We wish to further increase dialogue and contacts with IPA parliaments. On the other hand, as the Grand National Assembly of Turkey, we are ready to share our experience in the law-making process over the 100 years with the parliaments of IPA members countries.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inviting the IPA cast, and I'm glad to be here, and Azerbaijan values its role as an observer of the IPA platform, and we are glad to be here. And as you know, that IPA, we can see that IPA is building a bridge between IPA members country and our region as well. And I'm happy to be with my our neighbors and close friends from Georgia representative as well. And I think that that it's a good platform for cooperation, and Azerbaijan has an agenda and is ready to contribute in the regional interparliamentary dialogue and the cooperation as well. As you know, that Azerbaijan country is going through 30 years of independence, with the facing the conflict with Armenia, and we are ready to contribute as a post-conflict resolution, post-conflict rebuilding. And now that the conflict is done, and we are on the way to write the peace agreement with Armenia. And also, as you know, that Azerbaijan was a host of COP29 in 2024, and we have a special agenda for promoting that climate change. And I'm sure that as parliaments should have a special agenda for climate change, and Azerbaijan is ready to be a part of this initiative as well.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, for us, for Georgia, Southeast Asia is becoming a priority region. And therefore, the participation of Georgian delegation in IPA as an observer carries more importance. We see that in these difficult times, when there are geopolitical shifts and when there are security challenges all around the world, we need to find a common language with like-minded countries, and we see that ASEAN countries also aspire to peace and development, peaceful development, and therefore, in this regard, our policies coincide. But it's not only political relations that we would like to foster. It's also about trade, economic relations, people-to-people contacts, also exchanges in cultural and educational field. So there are a variety of fields where Georgia would like to work closer with the ASEAN countries, and IPA, as a parliamentary dimension of ASEAN, gives a very good platform to exchange on ideas and on recent developments, and also on lessons learned, because there are certain good practices that we have developed. There are certain good practices that the ASEAN countries have developed. So we can exchange these good practices and build on these lessons learned, and then promote further our relations. So we are very happy that we are here, and it's not a coincidence that Georgia and Azerbaijan, I mean, two South Caucasus countries, are observer countries in this assembly, because for our region, as I said, Southeast Asia is a priority region.
Okay. Thank you for all of the answer that you have given to us and enlighten us about how IPA observer parliaments can actually strengthen its relations with IPA member parliaments. This is such a very interesting key takeaways from you, honorable members, and I cannot wait to see the other answer that we will be moving on after the next. Now, moving on to the second questions. In today's increasingly complex global landscape, honorable, including challenges such as sustainability, peace, and social resilience, what role do you see for cross-regional parliamentary dialogue? I mean, how can IPA further contribute to fostering inclusive and meaningful engagement in this context? Maybe we begin from Honorable Member Parliament from Azerbaijan. The time is yours.
As you can see, the index of sustainability is very low in the world, and there are several conflicts in the different international level, on the regional level, on the local level. As I mentioned, my colleagues that one conflict, one of the regions, reveals that full is a direct effect to another region as well. And now the cooperation is not luxury; is a necessary. And we realize that we're happy as Azerbaijan and Georgia as observers. IPR is a part of this big family, and interparliamentary such events as a good opportunity for interparliamentary dialogue in the interpersonal cooperation and the international cooperation as well. And I'm absolutely sure that it's a common policy as a common view of for future. It's more important. And today that we face different challenge on the regional, both on regional and on the world global level, and it's more important to be ready for cooperation. And I am alone. It's not enough today. It's more important that to be ready for cooperation.
Yes, first of all, I think parliamentary dialogue is important to have a common understanding on future goals, and IPA as an important assembly of Southeast Asian countries, which is a huge region, and as we heard today, soon it's gonna be the number 4 economic power in the world. And today, economy also shapes politics and security, and therefore IPA has an important role in delivering the message of the future policy of a very important region to the world. And I think that's most important thing, how we can learn from each other, how we can develop common policies in order to face or to counter the problems that you have mentioned, security problems, social problems, because in today's globalized world, we see that problems in one region will of course have an effect on the other region, and therefore be it economic, be it security, be it social, so therefore I think one of the major let's say achievements for dialogue between IPA and the observer countries is to create common platforms and to work together on tackling the problems that are not unique to any region in the world. And I think this is the added value of this organization, and we are happy that we are part of this dialogue.
IPA meetings are the concert manifestation of the important role played by parliamentary diplomacy in the context of regional and global issues. As IPA members and observers, we need to strengthen interparliamentary cooperation for the sake of peace and security. We believe that the challenges in our region and in the global arena can be overcome through effective multilateralism and diplomacy, and that we can contribute to this process as parliamentarians. Achieving sustainable development and increasing prosperity in this region can be realized by establishing an environment of peace, of stability. We are prepared to work more closely with our Southeast Asian partners to achieve regional and global peace and security. We mustn't forget that it is of great importance for us as parliamentarians to take responsibility for finding lasting solutions to conflict in our region and around the world and bring peace and security to humanity. In this regard, I believe that IPA serves as an important platform in engaging huge challenges such as peace and sustainability. By bringing together not only Southeast Asian but also 25 observers from all over the world, IPA gives these parliaments the chance to sit together around the table and advance parliamentary dialogue for the common good of humanity.
To start with, let me quote really a statement from IPA General Secretary in her speech today. She said, "One enemy is enough, 100 friends is not enough." And I think this is really very important, really concept to take it. In light of the accelerating challenges facing our world, an inter-regional parliamentary dialogue became as essential and strategic tool for advancing peace, achieving sustainable development, and reinforcing social justice. As parliamentary group of the Kingdom of Bahrain, we firmly convinced that IPA plays an active and meaningful role in promoting constructive dialogue, expanding participation, and advancing parliamentary diplomacy as a driver of mutual understanding and cooperation. We believe that cooperation among parliamentary regions facilitates the exchange of best practices and helps unify efforts to address global challenges, especially in the critical areas such as food security, climate change, empowering people to build more stable and equitable future. Parliamentary dialogue allows us to engage deeply with key shared concerns, exploring them for multiple angles, listen to diverse expert perspectives, and examine the best legislative and policy responses. This in turn strengthens the quality and comprehensiveness of national legislation. Bahrain has been able to take the lead in drafting forward-looking legislation and in amending existing laws thanks to its active and consistent participation in both regional and international parliamentary forums. Bahraini parliaments or Bahraini parliamentarians have translated these experiences into tangible improvements in the national and legislative framework. Examples include reforming justice law for children, the labor law, the proposed legislation on the regulation of artificial intelligence, and various cooperation agreements, and many more. So this really demonstrates how Bahrain parliamentarians gain from participating in international forums like IPA.
Thank you, Honorable, for such a very comprehensive answer. There's an interesting part that I want to highlight, but maybe we can move on to the next question first. Now, this is the last questions. As this is the first time IPA observer parliaments are invited and involved in the IPA caucus through parliamentary dialogue, reflecting on your participation in the parliamentary dialogue and partnership building sessions on the 16 IPA caucus, what are your key takeaways? I mean, like, what message would you like to share with the wider IPA community about the importance of openness, dialogue, and long-term partnership with observer parliaments? Maybe I'll begin this questions sessions with you, Honorable Member from Georgia. The time is yours.
Well, the title of the caucus peace through dialogue is very timely because my country, Georgia, still lives partially under occupation, and our friendly country, Azerbaijan, also had to undergo similar history and similar fate. So we know what is the price of war. And since the very, let's say, first days of regaining our independence in 1991, both of our countries have gone through wars. Therefore, we and our people cherish peace, and we have also made it as part of our general policy to restore the territorial integrity of our country through peaceful means. And therefore, it is very much interesting for us to hear how our friends and partners in Southeast Asia, what what are their problems, what are their challenges, how are they tackling these challenges, what are their policies. So for us, for our countries, this would be very interesting and very beneficial.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting to such event, and it's really my special thanks to Cambodian Parliamentary Organization team and the IPA secretary team for excellent organization, and I hope I'm sure that it's a first step for building a bridge between the ASEAN country members and the observer parliaments, and it's a good opportunity for scaling up its APA vision and values, not only that Asian members geographically countries, but and also as close as a partner such Azerbaijan and Georgia, and I hope, I'm sure that the result and the outcomes of such event will be a good opportunity for the next step and for future development at the next event. And Azerbaijan is ready to be a part of this family.
Again, I will use a quote this time from Her Excellency, the President of National Assembly of Timor-Leste. She said, when you can go alone if you want to go fast, but if you want to go far, you have to go together. So I think this is very important, really, to address this, because our engagement in the parliamentary dialogue sessions at the 16th IPA conference clearly underscored the importance of sustained partnerships grounded in the openness and mutual respect. Also, a key takeaway was the realization of today's complex challenges require collective responses rooted in the multilateralism and collaboration rather than isolation or unilateral solutions. Our message to IPA members is that openness and dialogue must not be viewed as an optional. They are necessary commitments, long-term partnerships with observer parliaments, enrich the parliamentary experience, foster balanced solutions that reflect diverse perspectives, and support social stability and development. We emphasize that the Kingdom of Bahrain enduring approach indeed is deeply embedded philosophy of advocating of peace through openness to the world and sincere commitment to joint action. A core element of this approach is Bahrain's active parliamentary engagement with countries across the globe to help develop legislative framework and policies that uphold sustainable peace, development, and progress in all sectors.
Throughout the 2 days meetings here in Phnom Penh, I had the opportunity to meet parliamentarians from Southeast Asia and from various parts of the world and discuss important issues in order to address the challenges and find ways to achieve peace. I am sure that today's meetings at the margins of the 16th IPA caucus, including parliamentary dialogue and partnership building sessions, will undoubtedly contribute to the openness. Building session will undoubtedly dialogue and establishment of long-term partnership with observers parliaments. In this regard, we welcome to latest decision enable contributing observers to participate in various activities of IPA. We are fully interested in actively participating at different activities of IPA, including, for instance, to IPA Code meetings, which serves as a unique parliamentary platform to combat drug problems. I believe that this platform plays significant role in coordinating our efforts as parliamentarians on an important issue, not only for our region, but also for the whole world.
Thank you very much for all of your answer, Honorable Member Parliaments. And it's a very interesting key takeaways that you already share about us in this episode of iPodcast. You already share about the importance of having this platform, having this kind of meeting to always maintain a good and meaningful dialogue with IPA member parliaments. And you also mentioned that there are a lot of things that need to do between IPA officer parliaments and IPA itself to actually have a more constructive engagement in the future. It is a very interesting topic. Thank you for your time, honorable members. Thank you, honorable member parliaments, for joining us in a very special episode of this iPodcast. Your insights helped shed light on the evolving and important role of officer parliaments can play in shaping parliamentary diplomacy and regional cooperations. Thank you very much. And thank you once again for all of our listeners for already joining us in this today episode of iPodcast. Don't forget to follow all of our social media and stay tuned for upcoming episodes as we continue to bring you important voices from across the regions. Until the next time, stay tuned and see you again. Thank you.